Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the easiest jungle house that you have ever made in Minecraft. That's right, if you enjoy this tutorial, ladies and gentlemen, please do consider subscribing to the channel if you're new around here. And even if you're not new, you can do this. Please do click that little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. But without any further ado, let's get started. Now, just before we start building, everybody, here are all of the materials that we are going to need to make the easiest jungle house that has ever been made ever. Please do make sure that you have all of those materials and enough of them as well. The amount of space required to make this build is roughly a 14 by 14 block area. Do feel free to make this grid in your world if you feel as though that it may help you out. And that's it. Pause the video if you have to, gather all that stuff, make sure you got enough room to make it, make sure you're ready to live in the jungle, and once you are, we can begin. Step 1, my jungle house building friends. Come all the way over to the front right hand corner of your grid, if you've made it. Count backwards from the front right hand corner, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then left, 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is the starting position. We're going to begin with 3 jungle wood planks stacked on top of each other. 1, 2, 3. We are going to take the third plank and extend it left by 2. 1, 2. Place a jungle wood left of this and join down to the ground. This area is going to house a window, so you can place some upside down jungle wood stairs, connecting the bottoms together, some glass pane inside. And this is optional, you can place a jungle trap door, it makes it feel a little bit more jungly. The next thing that we're going to do is create depth. We'll achieve this by placing a row of jungle wood in front of the previous row of jungle wood. We are then going to place an upside down jungle wood stairs left of the bottom of the row of jungle wood, and we'll place a regular facing one going left of the top. A little bit of glass in between. An entire row of jungle wood planks left to all 3 of those blocks that we just made. We're going to place a door left of this, and then we're going to place a row of jungle wood equal in height to the row just to the right of us next to the door. We are then able to fill the top of the door in, and also place an additional jungle wood plank on the top middle block. Now that's a lot to take in. Additionally, you can place a jungle trapdoor next to this window again. Again, it feels a little more jungly. We're going to come to the left side of the build now, and we are going to create what I would call the width of the house. We're going to place 7 rows of jungle wood coming backwards, jungle wood planks I should say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're going to stick a jungle wood, an actual jungle wood, on the end. Make all of these rows 3 blocks high, just as the rest of the house is. We are then going to create the back of the house. Now the back of the house is relatively simple. So the back of the house, we want to, starting from the bottom here, we're going to place a row of jungle planks just on the inside of the row of jungle wood. We're going to take the top, extend it to the left by 2, 1, 2, stick a jungle wood on the end and join it down to the ground. We're going to place jungle wood planks on the left side here, which leaves enough room for a window. So this window can consist of an upside down jungle wood stairs with a single glass pane on top, and then perhaps you might want to also add the jungle trapdoors around. We are then going to extend the middle block upwards, the plank that is, and that is going to allow us to place the roof. Additionally, we're going to extend the house inwards again to create depth, and we're going to place a row of jungle wood inside of the actual jungle wood. And then we're going to take the bottom of this row and place 2 upside down jungle wood stairs coming across the bottom. Jungle wood plank, 2 on top, connect back, glass pane inside, jungle trap door next to the window. Very simple. Now, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, that is the main structure of the house complete. I'll explain why. The rest of this house is a little bit random in nature, as we are going to be using jungle wood itself to create a tree. So this tree is going to, first of all, we're just going to place a solid row of jungle wood connecting the front and the back of the house together. We're now going to shape it a little bit like this. So we kind of want to create a tree shape. I don't think I have to explain to you guys what a tree shape sort of looks like. It's a little bit square, but mostly a little bit rounded, a little bit square at the same sort of time. So we want to create this sort of shape, right? It's kind of like a random circle. It even wants to intrude the inside of the house a little bit. Now, once you've got kind of like a standard shape, I want you to raise up the outer sort of parts of your tree like this. There's no real method for doing this other than what I'm saying. It's really just like a case of experimentation. You really just have to like create a shape like this, a bit of a circle, but also kind of squarish at the same time, and just extend it upwards. And we're just going to make sure that it's a little bit higher than the actual house itself, because it's important that we are able to place the roof of the house, which is the next thing that we've got to do. So now that we have the general gist of the tree shape, which we will be refining later, we are now going to add the roof. We're going to start with the toughest part of the roof, which is this part here. It's where the entrance is, and it's going to extend towards the back. So the roof is going to start on the upper left sides of both of the jungle woods at the front and back of the build. These spruce slabs will extend forwards and inwards and upwards and inwards until they eventually reach the apex of the roof, which will be here. Now these blocks can all be extended backwards, and we can create the exact same shape that we applied on the front. So that is going to be one portion of the roof. There is more than one portion of the roof though. So you can imagine that this is going to connect all the way to the front of the build like this, and they'll just simply join together in harmony. By the way, on the front and the back of the build, I'm also going to recommend, I don't know why I like this, but I do, I'm going to extend these two blocks, these ones here, downwards by one. I think it gives quite a pleasing shape. I don't know why, it just makes it feel a little bit more jungly. So the next thing that we're going to do now that we have established that roof shape there is we're just going to extend it across and join it to the tree. So we're going to extend it across the side of the build and join it to the tree like this. And we are just going to fill then the top of the area in that is remaining with spruce slabs. So what I mean by that is this. So you can see it's relatively flat. We have the side and then just the one row of the top, and then we are going to extend, I don't know whether I want to extend all blocks. I might just extend these just to cover up any gaps, and then I might actually leave the roof a little bit hollow. I'll explain what I mean by that, because that might have been a little bit confusing what I was just saying there. I was kind of just talking to myself. So you can, if you have a look at the inside of the roof, and by the way, that's how the roof should look, pretty much. If you have a look at the inside of the roof, you'll notice that you can extend these blocks here, like you can extend these blocks. Or you can just leave the slabs in. I actually like this shape a little bit better, it feels a little bit better. If you want, you can even make it like a little bit more interesting, like you can add a little bit more flair to the build, kind of like, it feels a little bit more man-made like this. So, now that we have created the general house, we have to spruce up the surroundings. A lot of this build is enhanced by the tree. Okay, so the tree itself, the shape's not too bad. We're going to focus on the leaves first of all. So the leaves are going to look quite bulbous. That means like big and round. So we're going to, it's a very small tree top as well. We're going to add just a row of jungle leaves. I specifically like the jungle leaves for this, just all the way around the top of the tree part like that. Flare some of them down, make it look all jungly. You can even add a couple of vines perhaps to the side of the tree where you feel as though you should. Then simply extend some of the leaves upwards, extend a couple of them out perhaps, and basically just create what I'm thinking of as a jungle-like jellyfish at the top of the build. So say like add another row like that, that's not looking too bad at all, is it? And then start bringing it in a little bit. Honestly, the top of your tree probably shouldn't be any more than 4 rows or so of jungle leaves. It's not the main part of the build. It's just like an extra. So we don't have to spend like an insane amount of time on it. Obviously it has to look good. Nobody said that it has to look bad, but we don't have to spend an insane amount of time on this. So something like this might look good. We might have to prune it a little bit more, but we're not going to do that. That looks nice and sort of natural. Now the bottom of the tree wants to have roots, and it wants to be built up a little bit. So we're going to just knock out some of the tree. We're going to make it look a little bit more natural, like this. You can't even go further, by the way, than the actual grid and stuff. But something like that, we want it to look natural. Additionally, we want to do the same on this opposite side. So I kind of want the house to look as though that it's built like around the roots of the tree. So like even on the side of the house, this side of the house, you can build up a lot of roots. You can build up a lot of leaves. You can really just make this house acclimated into the jungle. You can add vines on the side. You guys know what you have to do to make it to really make it like pop in the environment. And honestly, that's pretty much all there is to it, ladies and gentlemen. There's not too much more to this house than that. However, just another idea to spruce up the outside of the house a little bit. Alright, so the way that we're going to take this house to the next level is, first of all, we're going to create a little bit of farmland in front of the house. So for this part, we're going to need like a hoe, shovel, seeds, lanterns, flower pots, and a little bit of flowers, and maybe even a little bit more messy sort of greenery materials. I'll explain in a bit. So I'm going to hoe out this little area here, just in front of the house, and I'm going to create a little bit of a patch of hoed land that we can fill in with some seeds. It doesn't have to be much, that can probably just about do. We're going to create a grass path around this area, and it's going to look a little bit messy like this. We don't want to make it look too uniform. Additionally, I'm going to place a couple of lanterns, literally just a couple, 1, 2, about the place. And I'm also going to place a couple of flowers. I like the orange tulips here. For some reason, I don't know why, I feel as though that they go with the build quite nicely. Now, we can sit and watch those grow, or we can turn our attention to the inside of the house. Now, I realize that this is a survival house, so you may very well have your own plans for how you're going to decorate this incredibly easy, impressive house. If that's the case, then you can probably just turn the video off here. But if you want a little bit of inspiration, let's do it. Step 1, we need a new floor. We're going to dig out all of the grass and replace it with spruce wood planks. Now that we have replaced the floor, what I would recommend doing is, first of all, we have to dig into our tree. So the idea is that we want to have a little hidden away bedroom on the inside of our tree. So you only have to leave a 2-block space gap so that you can actually get inside of it, and then we can dig out all of this here and replace it with the spruce wood planks. Depending on how big you want the inside of the space to be, you can either expand or you can limit the amount of space inside here. So if you want to, you can like add a top to the tree, and you can also make it, of course, so that you can fill in these gaps. I'm going to leave them in though to make it feel a bit more authentic. Additionally, you might want to add a couple more little bits of like random jungle wood inside of the base if you like. You might want to make it a little bit more random, as I said. Maybe make the roof come in a little bit, use a little bit of spruce wood slabs, because it obviously wouldn't be perfect. It'll feel a little bit more rustic if you do this. So it's really up to you how far you may want to go with this. It really, I mean, this is probably about good enough for me. Now it's time to decorate. So when it comes to decoration, we are going to try and keep things a little bit messy, but we're still going to use the regular sort of materials like bookshelves, crafting tables, furnaces, anvils, brewing stands, cauldrons, some trapdoors, and some chests. So first of all, I kind of want a little enchantment library at the back of the build. So I'm going to stack a load of bookshelves like this wherever I can, and I'm going to expand them over, and still keeping with the messy vibe, and I love how this is looking, by the way. We now have a little enchantment area. We can add perhaps like or maybe even like a double chest here if we want to. Maybe we can even add like a book or two down here. We can add a couple more double chests, but we want to keep that sort of messy vibe that we have managed to attain. Additionally, over here by the entrance, I'm going to just place a couple of jungle woods on this wall, and I'm going to have a couple of cauldrons with some brewing stands on top above the cauldrons. And I'm also going to place on top of the cauldrons some spruce trapdoors, just because it feels right in here. I want it to feel a little bit cluttered, a little bit messy. I want it to feel very homely. And additionally, what we're going to do is in this corner here, I'm going to have, say, like an anvil, and I'm going to have like maybe a couple of furnaces. We could even place a little cheeky chest back here that nobody can quite see, and we could even have like a double chest here, or maybe we'll just have a single one here. So it feels all nice and messy. So I'm going to chuck all of these things away, and I'm going to grab paintings, enchantment table, orange bed, block of redstone, some redstone lamps, ender chest, armor stand, scaffolding, and junglewood slabs. And on this wall, I'm going to place like a painting. I kind of want a nice vibrant one like that. That is perfect. I want to have an enchantment table here. That's good. That also provides a little bit of a light. I want to perhaps, I mean, we could even have, say, like an armor stand back here instead. I think that would look quite good. And we could even have like a table here. We could place something on the table. Or we don't necessarily need to have that. I want to make the floor a little bit more rough as well. So I'm digging out some of the spruce, and I'm placing a little bit of jungle wood like this. So we've got a little bit of depth in the build now, which is good because it just feels a little bit less crowded as well if you're like up and down. This little hidey hole back here, this is going to house a double bed. We're going to have a double bed. I'm going to place an ender chest just tucked away right there in the corner. We could even hide it a little, well, but maybe we won't hide it. We could even have like a painting like above the bed, something like this. But I also want to add lights to the top of the bedroom area. So I'm going to place a whole strip of block of redstone with some redstone lamps, just to keep this part just nice and bright. So we have a tucked away little ender chest, or perhaps we can have an armor stand here and tuck an ender chest away here. That way, that is really quite hidden. I do like that quite a bit actually. And yeah, that's actually feeling, this is feeling really good. The only thing that I think that we're missing is perhaps a little bit of light, so we're going to grab some lanterns. And we can perhaps place like a lantern here, and maybe like hang one here. We don't need to have too many of them. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I like this. I think that we've captured a really good vibe here. Very, very happy with how this interior has turned out. It's really messy. It's very jungle feeling. I love it. And, well... This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the easiest jungle house that you have ever made in Minecraft ever. We have everything that we could possibly need. This is a great looking, simple to build jungle house that is really nice and customizable, that has a great interior as well. It really does feel, I think, it feels and captures the vibe of the jungle quite nicely. And that's it. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please do remember to subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Click that little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. And not only that, if you do want to check out any more houses by me, any builds by me, check out the card system, description below, and the top of the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I love you all very, very much. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!